These are 5 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. Number 1. A human head actually remains conscious for around 20 seconds after being decapitated. Number 2. 20% of children report hearing voices. So if your child asks you to check their closet, maybe there really is a monster in there. Number 3. Your cat may be able to sense when you're dying. A pet cat named Oscar resided in a nursing home and was believed to be able to tell when the residents would soon die. He would sleep beside them until they passed. Number 4. There might be a haunted Russian radio station. UVB-76 is a low-frequency radio station that has been broadcasting since 1982. No one knows where the broadcast is originating. It's mostly just a buzzing noise with an occasional Russian voice transmission. Number 5. 1/3 of murders go unsolved in the United States. Leave a like and follow for part 2. These are 5 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. Number 1. There exists in the Czech Republic a small Roman Catholic chapel called the Sedlík Ossuary. What makes this church different is all of its decorations are made from human bones. The ossuary is estimated to hold the skeletons of up to 40,000 to 70,000 different people. Number 2. The catacombs of Paris hold the bones and remains of nearly 6 million people. Number 3. There is such thing as homicidal sleepwalking or sleepwalking murder. In 2005, a man named Jules Lowe was acquitted of murder after killing his father because he was sleepwalking during the crime. There have also been numerous other cases exactly like this, so if someone in your household is a sleepwalker, watch your back. Number 4. In the 1800s, dentures were made out of real teeth of dead people. Number 5. When a person dies, their sense of hearing is the last to go. Be sure to leave a like and follow for part 3. 5 horrifying facts that you will wish you never knew. As many as 50 serial killers are on the loose in the United States right now. The bodies of over 150 dead hikers remain undiscovered on Mount Everest, buried deep under the snow. Disneyland's famous Pirates of the Caribbean ride used real human skeletons as decorations. Disney engineers thought that the fake skeletons that were brought in were not creepy enough, so to offer a more authentic experience, they enlisted the help of the Los Angeles Anatomy Department for real skeletons. You have no way of really knowing if everyone experiences reality and consciousness the same way you do. And last but not least, a person will shed around 40 pounds of skin in a single lifetime. Leave a like and follow for part 4.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, part 16. Kangaroos are absolutely terrifying, and if you mess with one, it will likely lure you into the water and attempt to drown you. There's an abandoned Disney park that you aren't allowed to go to, and it was shut down in 1999 because it was infested with free-roaming alligators. The animals were being abused, and an 11-year-old boy died from a flesh-eating bacteria found in the park's waters. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, the lion's costume was made out of a real skinned lion. This is the John Lawson house. No one knows who lives there, but every single day, there are several female mannequins sitting on the front porch wearing a variety of clothing. Their positions and outfits change daily, and many believe this is meant to convey some sort of message. And in 1871, a train crash took place just 200 feet away from the home, killing 22 people. And these mannequins are always pointing toward the crash.
These twins barely spoke to anyone but each other. As children, their parents quickly noticed that Jennifer and June Gibbons weren't like the other kids. They were unusually inseparable and even created their own language. By their teens, they were even mirroring each other's actions. They would move and walk exactly alike. But even after seeing specialists, no one could figure out what was going on with the girls. One speech therapist noticed that it seemed like June wanted to talk but was controlled by her sister. Their diaries revealed that June felt the same. She called her sister a dark shadow. And Jennifer felt that they were fatal enemies. They tried separating the girls, but they rapidly declined into a trance-like state. When they reunited, they withdrew even more and stopped talking to their family almost completely. By the time they were 18, they were rebelling and arrested for arson. They were committed to a maximum security prison where they lived for 12 years. In March 1993, the twins were being transferred to a low security, but when they arrived, Jennifer was unresponsive and pronounced dead at age 29. It seemed like she just fell asleep and never woke up. After this, Jennifer began speaking and interacting with the world as if she had her whole life.
Disturbing moments caught on live TV. In this 2007 live footage, the Czech television's program, Panorama, is showing viewers a beautiful shot of the mountains. Suddenly, the initial tranquility is ruined by a blinding white light and the unmistakable sight of a mushroom cloud. The bombing was quickly and fortunately revealed as a hoax, masterminded by a guerrilla art prankster, who had apparently hacked the show's live camera feed, overwriting the footage with a CGI previously rendered.
I went to a carnival today. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most dangerous rides you can ride at one. Now either you've been on this ride or you've seen one at least one point in your life by now. Now you are never supposed to ride this ride alone for safety purposes. Basically 2 adults or 3 kids can fit into these little cage thingies you see. The whole ride spins while the cages spin continuously. This ride has been revised many times. In the beginning, the main issue was that the cages spun too fast. So that was changed. And there was a problem with the latching system. Changed again. In 2006, the ride had yet again another incident, where 2 teenage girls fell out of it. I've even had a pretty scary experience on this ride. Let me know if you guys have been on this in the comments.
In July 1955, Pan Am Flight 914 left New York City Airport en route to Miami. However, the flight never made it to sunny Florida. Without sending out a distress signal or leaving behind even the smallest piece of wreckage, the plane and its 57 passengers seemingly vanished into thin air. As the years passed without any sign of the missing plane, most people assumed the mystery would never be solved. But then, 37 years later, the impossible happened. Grab your popcorn and stay tuned to find out exactly what that impossible occurrence was, alongside a whole host of other eerie, mysterious voyages. One morning in 1992, at an airport in Caracas, Venezuela, air traffic controllers were going about their business when they noticed something very strange. Even though their radars showed an empty sky, they could clearly see a plane hurtling in the direction of the runway. As it got nearer, they noticed that this plane was old-fashioned and propeller-driven, a model that hadn't been used in years. Air traffic controller Juan de la Corte immediately made radio contact with the pilot and asked him to identify the mystery plane. The pilot replied that this was Flight 914, ready to touch down in Miami. When Juan informed him this was an airport in Venezuela, the pilot was horrified. He'd somehow traveled 1,200 miles away from his destination. And things were about to get even weirder. When the plane landed, witnesses could see passengers pressed up against the windows, wearing strangely old-fashioned clothing, and staring in confusion at the modern aircrafts on the tarmac. After a long silence, Juan's radio crackled. In a hoarse voice, the pilot of the mystery plane asked him to confirm the date. Juan told him it was May 21st, 1992. As he spoke, he could hear the pilot breathing fast, clearly distressed. Moments later, the pilot flung open the cockpit window and began frantically waving away the ground crew, screaming that he needed to leave. As he waved his arms, something fluttered down from the clipboard he clutched in one hand. But before anyone could react, the plane was in motion. The aircraft crew watched in shock as, mere minutes after it had happened, the mystery aircraft sped off down the runway before climbing away into the clouds. Juan ran down to the tarmac and picked up the document that had fallen from the pilot's clipboard. To his shock, he saw that it was a calendar dating from 1955. In the aftermath, aviation officers were able to surmise that this unexpected runway visitor was indeed the mysterious Flight 914 that had disappeared back in the 50s. But even after a thorough investigation, they couldn't make...
This is London's death train. This abandoned building used to be the London Necropolis Railway. London became severely overcrowded in the early 1800s, and the city's graveyards were at full capacity. The decaying corpses even began to seep from the soil into the drinking water. So a plan was devised to build the London Necropolis, which is the largest cemetery in the UK, about 30 miles away in the Surrey countryside. In order to get the dead from London to Surrey, they had to build this bizarre corpse train to transport them and their grieving families. The London Necropolis Railway was born. They also have the worst logo. You can actually still see here where the train tracks used to be and how they would have converged with the rest of the trains from Waterloo Station. The station was partially destroyed by a German bomb in World War II and it never reopened. The building is now being converted into flats, and I cannot imagine sleeping in this completely haunted death station.
Just a short walk from the Eiffel Tower lies one of France's darkest secrets. That's why I'm here in Paris, to uncover what went down. I went to check out a house on Rue Le Seur that was home to one of the most sinister criminals in history, Marcel Petiot. During World War II, Petio took advantage of the Nazi occupation by setting up a fake escape network, offering Jews and other state enemies a route out of the country to Argentina. Petio started charging people 25,000 francs to get to so-called safety, but his evil plan didn't stop there. Once victims were in his control, Petio told them that Argentine officials required all entrants be vaccinated against disease, and with this excuse, he injected them with cyanide. And in 1941, bodies were stacking up in the basement of his second home at 21 Rue La Sur. On March 11th, 1944, Petio's neighbours in Rue La Sur complained to police about a foul stench in the area. Police contacted Petio, who told them to wait until he arrived, but fearing a fire, they entered anyway, revealing a mass of body parts in the basement and backyard. Petio went on the run, staying with friends and lying about his crimes, saying he was hiding from the Gestapo. He adopted the name Henry Valery and even got a new job with the French resistance interrogating prisoners. But after 7 months, Petio was recognised outside a metro station and it was the end of the line. He was found guilty of 26 murders and beheaded shortly after. Fast forward to now, and 21 Rue La Sur lies dismal and grey in one of Paris's most affluent areas. To this day, the road is known as the most sinister in Paris, and Petio is Dr. Satan. And rumour has it, if you visit in the dead hours of night, you'll hear an eerie tapping from beneath the door.
Nerdy facts about history that school probably didn't teach you. Part 19. Oscar Wilde was once quoted saying that he was addicted to giving top and said that it greatly inspired him as a writer. The first ever pregnancy test involved injecting a woman's urine directly into a female frog's skin. And if the woman was pregnant, a few hours later, the frog would lay eggs. Paul Revere would ride from Boston to Newport to cheat on his wife. No, babe, the redcoats are actually coming this time. In 1955, the KGB tried to blackmail the president of Indonesia with video footage of him making love with a Russian woman disguised as a flight attendant. However, this backfired because the president did not care and requested the tape so he could flex on his friends back home. Giving someone the finger actually dates back 2,000 years, and it used to mean that you were threatening someone with sex. So while today it means f*** you, back then it meant I'm going to fuck you.